What's up, guys? Mower talk, baby. It's Saturday. You know what that means. Time for another video. And hey, I love mower talk videos. I'll be riding around doing my lawns. It's early in the morning. I was just getting done doing a bike ride. My yards are done for this week, so that's cool. It is Saturday right now when you're seeing this video. Whew, man. But anyway, I wanted to do mower talk because I love mower talk videos. While I'm riding around doing my yards, I like to play a lot of YouTube videos in my radio, you know, and just set the phone off to the side. I watch a lot of you guys' videos, mower talk and not mower talk, but I enjoy mower talk because I like, you know, people talking about pros and cons of like different mowers they have, because, you know, it'll help you on your decision. Next mower I get, next mower you get. So it's really cool to learn, you know. It's cool to learn about blower talk, learn all these things. I really enjoy it. I enjoy listening to them. And so I wanted to make one today. Hey, just for fun. But I want to tell you guys what happened with the EXMARK, because a lot of you guys have been asking. If you guys don't know, over this winter I bought an EXMARK 48 turf tracer, ECS controls, all that. Had a lot of issues with it. There's a lot of things wrong with it. I'll put the link right in the top of the description here. Of the video showing the journey of me working on it and all that. It'll be right at the top of the description here, so y'all can go and watch and you know, and see what I'm talking about in case you haven't seen that turf tracer. But a lot of you guys have seen it and all that. So what had happened was I originally bought the turf tracer, bought a used one. I had a lot of issues, but I was buying it to see if I liked the hydro walk behind platform. Oh man, my hair is crazy. I didn't even know that. I was coming on a bike ride. I think the wind blew it up. But anyway, I didn't know if I like it or not. I do think I like the hydro walk behind. It'd be good to have in my collection. So it was the end of the year last year, maybe about I don't know, November, December or somewhere like that, I think. And so I bought it for $2,000, and I did put a lot of work, a lot of, you know, time into it and some parts and stuff. So I paid $2,000 for it, and so I probably had like $2,200 in it or something, maybe $2,300 by all the parts I bought, and then not to mention my time. But I would just figure, hey, it's the end of the year, it's not a good time to sell a mower, but you know, it's the end of the year, it's kind of getting in my way. I'm going to stick it on here on Craigslist, Facebook, and see what I get, or see if anyone bites on it. So I ended up selling it to a guy for $1,800, and I kept the Velke off it. I kept the Velke off of it because I want to buy another walk behind. I think I want to buy a new one. So it worked out, you know. I still lost a little bit of money, but at least I got to experience the mower for a few months. And so here's the thing that I'm trying to figure out. So in 2019, this calendar year, I'm going to buy a new mower. But I always want to just have two mowers. I don't want to have more than two big mowers just for storage reasons and all that. You know, I just want to stick to two big mowers, and then, you know, have a couple push mowers. So the Skag, why y'all have been seeing that a lot, why I've been using it a lot, is because I'm keeping the hours off of the Snapper Pro, and the Skag is probably going to be sold in the spring or before. I'm going to run it for 600 hours, and then once it gets up to 600 hours, I'm going to sell it. And that's the plan, you know, because it's not, it just has the 2800 hydros. It will last longer than that, but I feel like that was my interval that I was like, you know what, 600, I'm going to sell it, you know, before I have to start replacing big things. Like I said, it could last thousands of hours, but that's when I'm going to sell it. So what I'm trying to figure out is, so the EXMARK is, I sold it last year, so I sold it, but I like the mower. So what I'm considering, here's where more mower talk comes in. I'm considering, and a great guy bought the EXMARK starting his business this year. He was thinking ahead early, bought the mower in December, and so, you know, and he fully understood every single issue with it. I had him watch, before he even came out to my house, I had him watch all the videos of my journey of messing with it. So, because y'all know me, I'm not trying to like, you know, be dishonest with someone. When I sell something, you know, very honest about it. So I had him watch every single video of every single thing I'd done with the mower, gave him any extra parts I had with it, but he was super happy because he's about to start his business and he got a hydro walk behind for $1,800. You know, yes, it had some issues. The deck was tweaked a little bit, all that. He knew all that, but hey, you know, starting out your business, you know, it would be a pretty good mower for that. So, but anyway, so here's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if I want to just have the Snapper Pro and then have a walk behind. So I have the walk behind in a Snapper Pro, and whatever one I want to take that day, I could. And like I said, I cut the Velke, so I already have that ready. So I could take either the Snapper Pro or the walk behind, or I don't know if I'm going to buy another Liberty Z. And I've been saving up my equipment budget all year, getting ready, knowing that I'm going to buy a new mower in 2019. So, I don't know if I want to get another lightweight zero turn, like another Liberty, just like I have, a new one. Or I could possibly get, you know, another light zero turn, I don't know, Bobcat CRZ, or one of the Graveleys. I mean, there are options. So I don't know if I want to do that. And, you know, there's a lot of different walk behind options. There's, you know, you have your Turf Tracer, you have your Ferris walk behind, and your Skag walk behind. Those are really the three that I would consider. Now, let's talk about the walk behinds on things. Also, I'm considering getting some kind of, I had thought about, I don't know if I'll really do this, but I've thought about a Walker B. So that way you don't have to deal with the bagging or the fan or anything like that, but you still have the walker, the excellent cut, you know, and all those things. I'm not sure if I'll go that route, but it's a possibility too. And shout out to my man Countryside Lawn up in New York. He does a lot of like these mower talk videos. I always enjoy his videos of all kinds. But anyway, so, and also, you know, there's not really any lightweight standers. Kind of the lightest one right now is the new Wright Standard B. And that is something I'll consider, but it is 780 pounds still, I think, plus your rider. And you're standing up. So, like, if you're standing up, you know, I might just get a walk behind, you know, with the Velke. I don't know. So those are kind of all my options. But let's talk about the walk behinds for a minute. I'll wrap this video up. I don't want to bore y'all for too long, and we'll do more and more talk videos just because I love them. Just because I love thinking and learning about different options. So let's talk about the 3 walk behinds. And then Ferris has 2 walk behinds. Let's talk about the Skag. Let's talk about the Exmark. There's probably other, of course there's Toro walk behind, which is like the Exmark. There's a Wright walk behind. So let's talk about those. The Skag, and let's talk about my thinking, you know, on the different ones. So the Skag is great. The controls aren't bad. It has like a bar over the top. Oh, let's just start with the Ferris. And here's why I'm very, very, very seriously considering the Ferris walk behind. And, you know, thank y'all for hanging out here with me in my office in my truck. But the Ferris walk behind, you can still get the hydro in the normal handle configurations, not the ECS controls, but just the normal handle ones. And why I'm considering that is because, as y'all know, my yards, my area, there's a lot of dips, there's a lot of roots down by the lake. And so, like on my zero turns, I'm kind of constantly feathering that deck a little bit with my foot. And so, if I had a walk behind where it has the handles like the normal, like pistol grip handles, you know, I can easily, you know, that's just like the natural leverage point to wheelie your walk behind over obstacles, all right? So like over roots, dips in the yard, you can kind of wheelie it a little bit as you're going across there. Also up onto the trailer. And I've tried the Exmark, the Wright, the Skag, and the Ferris at the Expo last year. Drove all of them, and for whatever reason, I don't understand it. I don't understand why. But the Ferris walk behind, the controls are way easier to squeeze than any of those other brands. And I don't know why that is, but that's actually a pretty big deal if you're considering a walk behind. So, is how easy are the handles to squeeze. Now, because like on my Exmark ECS controls, since your hand's up here, it's very awkward if you need to wheelie. It's very awkward. It's kind of hard. It feels like there's kind of nothing really to grab onto to kind of push it down or to wheelie. So you can kind of pull back on them, but it kind of like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just kind of awkward with the Exmark. And it would be the same. But here's the thing. The Skag one, the handles are laid down more like this, and it has a bar like that runs right in line, like with the handles. It has a bar that goes over, an orange bar, so you might could use that bar to help you push down some. So that might help as far as like the wheeling factor on the Skag SWZT. Now, the Ferris, the SW25 would be one that I consider because it is pretty light, 600 some pounds. The downside to it is you have to move the pins every time you want to move the height. And I was talking to a Ferris rep yesterday. I was just wondering if they're going to bring the walk behinds to the expo, because I want to try that. Because probably like November is when I'm going to buy the mower, because I want to go to the expo, do my final tries, do my homework, and I want to do another video talking about like my list of things I want to check out at the expo. I think it's good to do that. Have like things like, I want to look at this, I want to look at this, I want to look at this. Because it'll help me not to just go there and, you know, and ramble too much. But anyway, so the SW25 Ferris, you have to move the pins in their 1/2 inch increments, just like my Exmark was. And the only downside to that is I like to cut a lot of my southern lawns here, Bermuda and Zoysia and stuff. I like to cut them at 275. And so the 1/2 inch increment thing is kind of a problem. Plus, it's a pain to move the pins. Like 2.5 is a little bit too short. And 3 is a little bit too high for my liking. So like, you know, on my zero turns and everything, most, you know, 80% of my yards are cut at 275. So that's an issue with the FW25, with the Exmark Turf Tracer. Not sure exactly how the right deck height adjusts worked. I can't remember that. I'm sorry about that. It might have had a pin, it might have had another system. The right handles were pretty easy too, but again, there's no real way to wheelie it, and the right one I think is super expensive. The Ferris ones are the best deal for what you get, in my opinion. Hands down, you know. And the Skag actually is a pretty good deal too. The Skag has a handle, and I believe it's 1/4 inch increments. You know, like a handle right here on the side you can pull up, and the whole deck goes up and down just with one pin and one handle. So that's another good thing about the SWZT. Trying to think what else. So, you know, so those are kind of some things to think about on the Ferris. Also, or on the walk behinds, but also remember that the Ferris 35, all right, now that like Happy's Family has, a lot of you guys have those too. Grassology, I know you have one. There's a lot of you guys that have them, and they're super cool because it has a little crank system, move the deckum down. Now it is 800 pounds, but the wheels are wider apart, and you know, it's a great mower too. I just don't know if I want to go for that weight or not. And so all this, you know, I'm trying to kind of considering. I have to figure out all these. I have to navigate all this if I'm going to walk behind. And I may end up just getting another zero turn. You know, I don't know, because these are some issues that I got to figure out. I don't like the 1/2 inch increments. For one thing, I have to be able to wheelie it, and like the FW35 from Ferris, that'd be great. But I wonder if, you know, if that weight is real heavy. I mean, you got to think, if that's 800 pounds, my Skag's only 600 pounds. Even with me sitting on top of it, you know, I'm still under 800 pounds. So I don't know, you know what I mean? But the walk behind, you know, is great. Well, it doesn't tear up grass, which the Skag doesn't really either, but the walk behinds are very easy on the turf, as y'all know, and any slopes, or if they have to go down or up anything, it's no problem. So these are some things I got to consider, you know. I could buy a new Exmark walk behind, but those, again, it's the 1/2 inch increments thing, which I'm not crazy about that. I mean, you know, I could deal with it or figure out or cut them a little higher or shorter than I want to, but, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean? So, but the good thing about the walk behinds is they're heavy duty. Like, you know, parts are going to last longer on one of those commercial walk behinds than, you know, more hours than like they would on the Liberty Z. You know, and I'm not trying to say that that's not true, because that is true. You know, they'll last a long time, and heavy duty and all that. But, you know, so these are some things I got to consider. And if you guys have some other options that I'm not considering, you know, put it in the comments below, because I reply to every comment, and sometimes if y'all recommend something, you know, I'll research and look into it. So these are some things, you know, I gotta consider, you know, and I don't know if I want to mow the walk behind all day anyway. But another cool thing about a walk behind is there's probably some yards where I push mow that if I had a walk behind, because the decks float better, you know, and all these kind of things, I could probably do some of those with the walk behinds and do some others. So some days I might not have to bring the push mower, which, you know, less stuff with you. I like to bring the least amount with me as possible, but I still have to bring everything I need. So, you know, these are all things I'm going to consider. And I want to do blower talk videos, I want to do other things. But like I said, I am going to purchase a mower in 2019. Y'all know what happened with the Exmark now. A lot of cool things coming up. I really appreciate you guys. The expo's coming fast, you know. Think about that, because it's coming up faster than you think. What are we, 3-4 months out? And they just released that they're going to have free parking this year too, which is another awesome thing. And the funny thing is, I already bought the parking pass, and so I guess they're going to like refund that money for that. So let's wrap up this mower talk. And yeah, if y'all have other mowers, put in the description. I want to keep talking about it, and I will in the future, but this video is already 16 minutes long, so let's wrap it. Thank y'all for hanging with me. It's Saturday. It's Tony. Y'all are awesome. See ya.